In the tradition of Out of My Mind, Wander, and Mockingbird, this is an intensely moving middle grade novel about being an outsider, coping with loss, and discovering the true meaning of family. In this riveting fantasy adventure, 13-year-old Jax Aubrey discovers the secret eighth day, with roots tracing back to Arthurian legend. Fans of Percy Jackson will devour this first book in a new series that combines exciting magic and pulse-pounding suspense. It's 2048 and the effects of global warming are causing chaos on Earth. Rising temperatures have made raging tornadoes and killer storms a part of everyday life, particularly in Oklahoma, where Jaden Meggs is visiting her estranged father. Dr. Meggs now heads StormSafe, a corporation that engineers storms, as well as Denature, the firm that factory grows vegetables with their undesirable qualities bioengineering out. In Jack Strong Takes a Stand by Tommy Greenwald, he stages a sit-in on his couch and refuses to get up until his parents let him quit some of his extracurriculars. As Jack's protest gains momentum, he attracts a local television host who is interested in doing a segment on him. Tension rises as counter-protesters camp out across the street from Jack and his couch. Jack's enjoying this newfound attention, but he's worried that this sit-in may have gone too far. Lost and alone in the jungle, one boy will have to let go of his assumptions and anger or be dragged down with them. Dylan Barstow has finally crossed the line. After getting caught on a late-night joyride in a stolen car, Dylan is shipped off to live with his ex-Marine uncle for the summer. But Uncle Todd has bigger plans for Dylan than push-ups and early morning jogs. The Night Gardener follows two abandoned Irish siblings who travel to work as servants at a creepy, crumbling English manor house. But the house and its family are not quite what they seem. Soon the children are confronted by a mysterious specter and an ancient curse that threatens their very lives. Jeremy's trouble begins when his eccentric neighbor leaves him an experiment for safekeeping, a jackalope. This so-called mythical creature looks like a bunny rabbit, but comes with razor-sharp antlers, is purported to be a ruthless killer. When government agents show up at Jeremy's house seeking the jackalope for their own nefarious purposes, Jeremy must find a way to protect the jackalope and himself.
The Secretive Rover follows the clever and resourceful twins Katie and David as they race across the country in their attempt to outwit an international team of insurgents who hold their parents and their babysitter captive in a foreign land. Seeing Reed. Life will never be the same for Red Porter. He's a kid growing up around a black car grease, white fence paint, and the backward attitudes of the folks who live in his hometown, Stony Gap, Virginia. When Red discovers the injustice that has been happening in Stony Gap since before he was born, he faced the unsettling questions about his family's legacy. Skink. When your cousin goes missing under suspicious circumstances, who do you call? There's only one man for the job, a half-crazed, half-feral, one-eyed ex-governor named Skink. Skink joins 14-year-old Richard on a breakneck chase across Florida, undaunted by lightning storms, poisonous snakes, flying bullets, and giant gators. Stung. There's no cure for being stung. Fiona doesn't remember going to sleep, but when she awakens, her world no longer exists. Her house is abandoned and broken. Her neighborhood is barren and dead. And there is a tattoo on her right hand, a tattoo Fiona doesn't remember getting, but somehow she must conceal it at any cost, because humanity has been divided. Tesla's attic. After their home burns down, 14-year-old Nick, his younger brother, and their father move into a ramshackle Victorian house they've inherited. When Nick opens the door to his attic room, he's hit in the head by a toaster. That's just the beginning of the weird experience with the old junk stored up there. The testing. The 7 stages war left much of the planet in charred wasteland. The future belongs to the next generation's chosen few who must rebuild it. But to enter this elite group, candidates must first pass the testing. Their one chance at college education and rewarding career.
This journal belongs to Ratchet, a debut middle grade novel about a girl named Ratchet and her quest to make a friend, save a park, and find her own definition of normal. Ratchet tells her story through the assignments in her homeschool journal.
Twerp. Julian Twerksky isn't a bully. He just made a big mistake. So when he returns to school after a week-long suspension, his English teacher offers him a deal. If he keeps a journal and writes about the terrible incident that got him and his friends suspended, he can get out of writing a report on Shakespeare.